In a spiritual life, we are aware that the entirety of the world system is the illusion, but there's something dark and forceful behind it. If you know that, then that's the beginning and end of your spiritual quest. Given that you also understand that you don't have to relate to it at all. That's why the yogis become quiet, the saints become serene. In spiritual life, everything's in its place because we don't relate to the world around us. Voices, times, places, circumstances. This is the truth of all of us who are spiritual. We don't relate to anything, the good, the bad, and the different. This won't be. It's that simple to people of a strong spiritual temperament. This means that the world itself, the judgment in the Bible, the world that will come again and so forth, it's just to show you that it's not here. There's an infinite presence called God. There's an infinite presence called you. Isn't it you? Aren't you that? Don't you know that? And don't you see that everything that happened from birth to this moment is the illusion? But it's dark and on you. And if you can look right through it, not relate to it a hairline, in your perception, it will disappear. And you'll have to go through it in all the areas of existence in the world, because you're not doing it for you to become free of the world. You're doing it to teach others, to transmit this understanding to others. In Buddhism, they call it the transmission, where you have this presence. You're my buddy Baba Bedi, when he held my hand in India in 71, and then that was one of his many gifts, was to have you experience your past life. And you'd feel that. And so you can do that. Hold a friend's hand and just know you're going to transmit that, and they'll see their past life. Or they'll be helped or healed, or directed, blessed. And the blessing is always that there is a higher presence of perception that we call God, that we call you, that is you. So if you get quiet and don't react to any of it, it'll break up here and there. The visual field will become less and less to you. And when it happens, it's monumentally, it's just such a happy experience. It's not happy joy running down the streets. It's like it breaks up and you'll actually see the presence of that which the wise still call God. And it's trillion times more than we ever think it is. And even like myself, I thought it all my life, never not. And at the same time, things break through here and there, and it's always more. Not more, and it's so much, it's just, it's so wonderful to be you, the real you. You're here to understand, not to react to any of it, to listen to good people, to be there, to use your gifts, and to know that the world itself is the dragon out to spitting fire to keep you from fulfilling your mission. And if you know that, the war is over right then. It's in perception. And you'll figure out all the details and the whys and the hows and the wherefores around the clock. Write it on paper, think about it. Oh, that happened, and you'll drop it. The prefrontal cortex, that looking for stuff in the world, if you quiet that, you're enlightened. It's called nirvana. I call it you. It's you. You came into this of your own volition to help, to heal, to fix, to correct, to guide your friends and loved ones out of the fires of this world. It is an illusion, and yes, the pain is real. Like my friend Kim said, that pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding, right, Kim? In other words, you can break through everything, you can see everything. I've been in every circumstance in the world, all the evil and so forth at me, and I always understand that I see everything, even in the middle of it, and I know there'll be an answer because I'm close to God. You're close to God. You are the answer to everything. If you know the entirety of it is the illusion. And you break up the psychic field of information coming at you because you're so assured in your heart and soul of the quiet. And this won't be here anymore. It is that simple. That's simple because you are a spiritual genius, because you can see the subtleties. You can learn to not react. You can see how they're trying to get at you in more and more subtle ways every day, all the time, around the clock, aren't they? That's just pure gladness for us. We'll be glad all over when we understand this and see it. And yes, it gets very real and racks you and so forth, but I've never not known and been in every circumstance that we can be in, this good, bad, and indifferent, and when it's really bad, I know that I can walk through the walls. I know that. You know that. Meaning it could take a month, it could take a week or a second, but the more you do this, the more it's going to be on you, and the happier you're going to be, because you can process the information at light speed, can't you? We all know what was just said, don't we? Free yourself from any reaction. You don't need or want anything. And this world hates you for that, doesn't it? Sets you up around the clock, doesn't it? And when you see through it, and see through it, and see through it, you'll become a rock. You are the rock of ages. It's a spiritual presence being that rock. And when you're there from time to time, He will speak to us. He will speak to you. And when He does, it's as though you're the only person in the world. Because to God, you are the only person in the world. When you're spiritual, we understand we have one Father, but it's our Father. These are the perceptions of a spiritual person. There aren't two people, or the God, I know God loves me and I'm the only person in the world, but there is no world, and God is infinitely more, and I am infinitely less, and God is infinite less, presenting Himself with infinite humility. You understand? It's this world, everything about it is a lie. It's a fabrication. It's a construct. Everything. That's why the holy ones are off in retreat somewhere, right? I know my home, there's no one ever there, except for people that come over for spiritual work. And that's it. My living room has always had that absolute peace of God and quiet. And all spiritual people have that, don't we? And the harder we try to fix those around us, the harder the world collapses in on it, on us, doesn't it? And if we understand that's what it is, and we don't react even to the collapsing in on us, we'll understand the details and so on and so forth, and be able to add that to our addendum, add to what we can do and will do to help the next person and the next and the next, won't we? Because our genius is endless. Because our God is great and good and kind and true. And God lives here in your heart. Talk to God. God will talk to you. Don't be afraid to identify with God with infinite humility and kindness, but you know God is real. God knows you're here for heroic reasons. To heal, to free your friends and loved ones. The entirety of it is a construct. I know I've had crazy things in my life where walls collapse and so forth, time and space, and I have them every day. So I'm confident, even though the world situation today is worse than ever and all, I know that. I've lived in these circumstances in many different isolated instances, and I know from being spiritual that I look through the whole thing that it's about to disappear, because all I have to do is know it's not here. So I am forever now. I'm there now. Aren't you? Aren't you wonderful and great and kind and true and soulful and decent and caring? Don't you want so very much to free your friends and family and loved ones? To tear down the walls of this world, the hatred, the greed, the animosity? Become really quiet, and you'll see a way through everything. These are not just words. There's nothing you won't do. The world's over as soon as you grasp this. You're here for a reason. It's intentional. You've allowed the whole thing to collapse in on around you and condition you, and as soon as you understand that that's what happened and you did it for that reason, it's not that you look through it. It's not even, to me, in my perception now and all my life, it's not here. That's why I've always had a hard time understanding a lot of stupid things around me, but I always had too much pride or something to ask anyone, because not asking something or having an ego or something, it's so, we don't identify it, we don't understand what it is. It's like you have a gifted child. I used to teach gifted children in Philadelphia 55 years ago, and you just, as long as you put the right tools, have the parents or friends or teachers, Montessori teacher, whatever they're doing, I would say just put the right tools in front of them and step away. All spiritual people are that way. This is the tool. You are born of spiritual greatness. You're here to transform the whole world by letting it know that it's a construct and it's intentionally at you, but if you know that, no matter how complicated the temptations get, you understand not to give it anything, not to react, not to fight back. It's fear-based. Look it in the eye and it's gone. The devil fears one righteous person more than 1,000 blind believers. You are righteous and true and kind and filled of the presence of God. You are the presence of God. You're a ray of light from heaven. You might appear to be here, and as soon as you disbelieve that thought, these wide open vistas of your soul, your presence, the endless purity and beauty of you will reside forever through this world, and it will break up like a jigsaw puzzle in the wind. Except it has less reality than a jigsaw puzzle. Give it nothing, and it will flee from you. You are the holiness of God. Please understand that. And no matter what it is, and the more spiritual you are, I have it 24 hours away, and crazy things, and people around me, everything. And puff, puff the magic dragon. Thank you for understanding this, please. God will be and is with you now and forever, every moment of this. You're not alone. You are God's presence in the world. There's a reason. It's a mission. It's powerful. It's relentless at you, and you're glad of that, because you're relentless at freeing all the decent people in the world from this construct. That's the mission. You are a great soul. I know this. You know this. You will fulfill a most divine destiny. You're God's presence, not other. Give it nothing. You can heal, you can help. These presences are moving through you all day, and the world doesn't want it. And that's the first indicator and the only indicator you need to know that something's wrong. And don't give it anything, and your gifts and presences and healing agency will transform this world overnight. There is nothing to fear. You are the holiness of God. God is now and will be with you every moment of this battle. All the gifts and tools will appear before you for the rest of your life. So help me God. You are a miracle in a hell, and you'll heal and transform everything and everyone. The details are unimportant. It will come to you and come to you. You're being taught of and guided by God, and at the same time you are that presence. You see what I'm saying? So you'll figure all this out. The delicacy of it all. The purity, the beauty. It's just softer than light and kinder than the early morning sun. You're the moonlight, starlight, and the living truth of a holy and divine Father of us all. God bless the rest of your life as you unfold this wisdom and heal all your friends and loved ones. There are no details. God bless your mission. Thank you for listening to this.